Hi everyone. Today we are discussing about a job scheduler, where in this job scheduler we are sending a report to a operator regarding the week. It's like a weekly report, how many cases have been created. So we are sending that report to the to particular person. Okay, and how are we going to send this? We are sending it through an email, and in that email we are going to attach Excel sheet. Okay, so whatever the data we are retrieving it from the application, that we are converting into an Excel sheet, and that Excel sheet we are sending it as an email attachment. So how are we going to do? Means we need few things over here. One is like you want a job scheduler, and also you want one activity, because job scheduler works with the activity itself. So what is a job scheduler? From 8x version, what we are doing is we are replacing the advanced agents with job schedulers, because these are scalable enough, and we will be writing, means whatever the agents you are going to create, all the agents, we will not write multiple things at one way. We will be creating each agent as the as a one job scheduler over here, so the performance also gets increases. Okay, so how a job scheduler looks like, we will see that the job scheduler is available in sysadmin. Okay, it is available in sysadmin job scheduler. You can just click on a job scheduler and create a job scheduler. So I have already created one job scheduler. You can see this. Okay, so in a job scheduler, this is used to enable the job schedule. That means if you want to make this active in your Pega application, then you are going to select this as enabled. If it is disabled, then this won't be working. It won't be sending any weekly reports, because you have disabled it. And you have certain node types over here. There are some 16 node types. On what different types of nodes you want to make your job scheduler to work, you can select them. So here I selected only one node here. So run on all associated nodes I have mentioned. Of course, because if you are going to select some 4 or 5, then in all 5 nodes this will be working, this will be executing, but as I have mentioned only one node here, so it will be working on only one node. Or if you select any one associate node out of 5, whatever you select in this, out of 5, it will be working on or executing on one node. And then you have schedules here. So what is the main difference between queue processor and job scheduler? Why we are talking about queue processor here means, basically agents were of two types, right? Standard agent and advanced agent. So standard agents are your queue processors, advanced agents are job scheduler. What is the difference here is, major difference here is, queue processor is executed only one time, but job schedulers are multiple times. So that multiple times you will mention in schedulers. And queue processor definitely needs a work object. Without work object you cannot use the queue processor. But for a job scheduler, it is independent of work object. That is, it will run independently whether you are creating a case or not. It doesn't matter, this will execute independently. That is the another difference for the job scheduler. So here it is multiple times. So whenever you have a requirement saying that it should create or it should execute multiple times, then definitely you have to think about job scheduler. So in scheduler you have these many things, so you can select any one of them as your option. So you can just I am going to select weekly because I want to send weekly. But weekly, which day you want to send, or which day you want to send means you have to select that. So weekly, every Monday one time you need to send. Okay, so every week you want to send on this Monday. So every Monday this will be sending your this particular job scheduler will execute. So I have mentioned certain time over here, so I'm just going to take it as 9:25 for time being, so that it will not execute at 9:15. Okay, so 9:25, and I selected time zone as Asia Kolkata, so that it will take our exact time, whatever the current location time. Okay, and the context will have two things: either you can specify to an access group, only for those access group this particular job scheduler should run, or you can go with the system runtime context, that is any applications, what are the applications you want to work on, or you want to get this job scheduler to execute. For that you're going to use system runtime context. Previously there was no system runtime context. Instead you used to create a request star type, or you would used to modify request star type, but now that request star type is got deprecated, so we are not going to use it. So we are using system runtime context. And come to the class, in which class your activity is there, so that that particular class name you should write over here. And I have created one activity which is called as weekly reports. Okay, so save this. So yeah, let me now make it as 9:14. Okay, because it is now 9:13. So let me save it and check whether this is getting executed or not. So how do I know whether it is executing or not? Means this weekly report has contains how to generate Excel sheet, and how to send it to an email, and how it is attached to an email. These all things are there in this particular activity. So this activity is having the logic. So let's see whether this is being sent or not, by waiting for another 1 minute, so that we can see in our email. Okay, so that you can see it. Okay, because now I mentioned 9:14. So how do I write activity? So this is the activity which I have written. You have some 12 steps over here. Activity. Okay, so so the first thing is I want report, right? So that report, I want a report. So that report will be coming from a report definition. So definitely I need to call that report definition. Okay, so it's 9:14. Let me see whether it got executed or not. Yeah, we can see whether it is getting executed or not in admin studio. So go to admin studio. So you have Pega, you need to search for this. Yeah, so if you see here, it executed second time. So first time it went fail because I have given a wrong email ID, so the reason it was not showing. But second time we will see whether it is getting executed or not. So second time also it failed. So let's check why. It is saying invalid addresses. Go back to activity and see whether it's really problem with anything with the activity. We'll see. Run and run it. Yeah, it got success. So if it is success, then definitely it should send an email to the thing. Yeah, if you see, there is address went here. Yeah, this is something like execute training app is not there, so that's why it is saying there is an error. But you can see that weekly report has been sent. Okay, so let me again see the email address, then you will understand. Yeah, there was an issue with the email ID, so that's the reason this job scheduler is not able to send you know, email, send the mail to the respective email address. So I have just changed it. We will see the uh, activity how it is, but let us first look into like whether this is working or not. We'll see. So I'll make it as 927 now. So save it and let's go back to the dev studio. Oh, sorry, admin studio. Yeah, now it is 927. See, this is 2 times here. Let me do action refresh. Now it became 3 times. Can you see 3 times? Let's see. Still it is getting failed. I even changed it. Okay. 2 is there, right? Param.2. Yeah, we'll check in admin studio. So what would be the error and see why it is getting failed. So before that, even you can trace it. So let's trace that. So how do you trace? You'll go here and click on trace. So we got a specific node, so we'll trace that specific node. Okay. Yeah. So let this get traced. We'll see. It is waiting. Yeah, so you got something fail over there. If you trace it and if you open it, it is saying that invalid address. So that means you are sending an invalid address. You are calling some different address which is not available. So what is that here is yeah, I'm sending this type of address actually there. So to address. So as a job scheduler, it will not take these things. You have to either write a proper email ID to this, so it will send this. So to address is getting wrong, so that's why we see that there is error happening in our job scheduler. So how do I rectify? I need to write a proper to address. Okay, so proper to address I need to write. So this is what happening. So let me write a proper to address. So let me close this. Even if I see this here, it will be failed only. Okay, sorry. Yeah, failed. So why it is failed? Unable to send due to invalid addresses. So let me go back to the dev studio and change the address. Open this and change the address. So I gave a parameter over here. Instead of email address, I'll give a proper email address. Okay, I'm giving a proper email address. Submit, and I'll make this as 4 now. 10-4. Save it. Okay, let me go back to see admin studio. So send, it went 10 now. Now you can see already 10, it was already 10-4 and it is showing success over here. Okay, so you got a success email. So how do you check whether you got an email or not? Means go to this thing. So here, if you go over here and see, it sent one report at 10-4. Can you see 0 minutes, and that report has all the case data. So I took only 2 properties here, case ID and label. You can see my previous video how do I added these all things, so you can look into that. Okay, so I added an email. This particular Excel sheet is also getting sent to your to the respective email ID which you have written. So this is how you do, but generally we didn't see how we have called activity, right? We were stuck over here itself. So let me go and see activity. Okay, so let me go back to the activity. How did we write activity? So there is some Java code which we have written over here. So the Java code is responsible, for reading the data there. Yes, so this is my activity here. So first of all, to understand what I'm doing is, in page assign classes, these are the things which you need to take. This report content is to retrieve the data from the report definition, and email is you want to send an email, right? You should definitely have an email account in your application. So that email account, for that email account we are doing it. And this is whatever the attachment you want to give, we want to send it as an attachment to an email, so that's why we want this embed-email attachment, and all these things will be attached to a, whatever the attachments you do it, they will be attached as a page list properties, that is your attachments. So that's why I took it as ATTS. So where for that particular class you'll have data dash attachments. This operator ID is not required, so you can just remove it. Okay, and then let's go to the steps. So yeah, the first step. So we have almost 12 steps here. Okay, so 12 steps, where the 6th step is to create a new page, and the 12th step is to delete that particular page. Whatever the page I created, I'm just removing it after completion of my activity. So what I'm doing in property set, so you can simply ignore this property set and directly you can call this rule obj report definition px retrieve report data to retrieve the data from your report definition, or you can write a property set, so that in that property set you are going to write what report you are calling, from which class it is, and what do you want to write the file name. Okay, so for that we took this fs file name and all these things. So this is first property set. Okay, so there what I'm doing is I'm using those properties, whatever the two properties you have over here, this report name and report class, I'm using them as passing them as current parameter page. If you are not going to do that, then you need to write this report name and report class, whatever you have written, these two things you need to write over here. Okay, so I was making simply to this simple for my second step. So that is about second step. And the third step, we have px generate excel file, which will generate an excel file for us, which should be working on our py report content page, because our report definition, whatever the data it gets retrieved, that will be available in py report content page only. So for that I am taking, the first file name is param.fs file name. So this is the one which I am going to create or generate an excel file with this name. So that's why that I took over here. And template RFB, you know it, right? We need to have one template which I already created yesterday. So that template you need to see it. Okay, so someone have asked me how do I have written the template. So let me show you that template. Yes, if you look into the template, so this is the template which I took. One is case ID label as my header, and this is the data which I have written. Even I have commented this in the previous video. So how do I have written? So if you see, there is a py report content page dot px results of dot py label input. So this is how you do it and means create a template, and that you will add it as a binary file in your application. Yes, so that I have written as webwb and mentioned the template name as case template. So I have written that. So I do not want to download this, I just want to send it as an email. So that's why I have unselect this download. And next, coming to the property set, what this property set is talking about. Basically, whenever you do this particular whenever you generate an Excel file, that Excel file will be available in particular path. Okay, so that path we call it as px service export path. So it will be available in px service export path, and along with that the path, the file name whichever you have, that file name you need to mention. So that is our output location. Whatever the output location, where is our email, where is our Excel sheet means, that will be available in this path. For that reason only I took one property, one parameter called as output location. So this I am passing it as an argument to my Java code. So this is our Java code. So this is the whole Java code which we need to write in the fifth step. Okay, so yeah, this is a Java code which you have to write. Got it? So if you look into this Java code, here I am going to take the output location. Okay, whatever the output location, what are the parameter value which is getting from there, so that is taking from here, and we are checking whether the file existing or not. If the file is existing, we are going to attach, we are going to start, we are reading that particular stream. Okay, so these are how you know how do you write and how we are going to write our Java code. Okay, so this I'll be making in the, I'll be adding this in the description. You can just copy that and paste into your application. Okay, so this is Java code which you will write. And next, so once our Java code is done, then we need to go for attachment. So how do I do? So for that I go for page new. So email data-email attachment is there, so that I'm taking it here. You have already seen in PageAssign classes, right? Attachment embed hyphen and email attachment. So we are taking that here, so that we will set some properties on this embed hyphen attachment, like we have pydecode, pyname and pydata. So wherever the data is available, that data we are writing here and decode as true, and whatever the file data we have, that file data we are writing. This is in the Java code, so that str file data is there, right? So that data we are writing into pydata. Okay, so that is about property set. Now what are you doing? I'm copying this particular whatever the thing is there, that should be copied into our data-email attachments. Okay, I should copy into the data-email attachments into this. So for that I'm going for page copy. So if you see page copy, this is to copy whatever there in this into the first attachment as one first attachment. Okay, it's a page list property, as I said. So you have copying into the first one. Then you are going to open the email. So what email? So from where you want to send this particular thing will be there in one of your account, right? I mean, this particular application will have an account, right? So that account I'm going to take. So I have an account called as Notify, which is of having the account name as this particular class group name. Okay, generally you are going to create an application with the account name with the class group name only. So I'm taking those values. So from there I'm picking the values. Okay, so those values I am adding in a property set. Okay, so where did I add? So that from, so for example, if I open my email, here, so if you look into this, you have right email address here, right? So email address, user ID, password. So in the back end, this is another property here. Okay, so what is that property? py email address. What is this? py from full name. What is this? py smt username. What is this? py password. And what is this? py host. And what is this? py smt port. So we need to copy these all things, right? So, and this is available in our email account only, right? So I took these values over here into our activity, and if you look, same things are there, right? Email.py password, email.py email address, py smt host, py host. So we took this. Why we need to take these all things means, whenever you are sending an email, we want password, we want smt port, smt host, to address, subject, message. We want these all properties when you use the send email notification activity. So if you look into this, if I expand this, you can see, right, these are all the things which we wanted. So I'm using those these things over here. So this is what we do it in the 10th step. Okay, so 9th step, you'll just write a you will open one account, and with that account you are copying some data into some parameters. So this is what you do. And now once you have called this email notification, enough. So you're all, whatever you did, everything would be coming into the picture now. So if you want to run this from here itself, yes, you can run from here. You can just simply collapse all, that would be working. Yeah, so you can just run from here, action, run. So here I am giving email as my input address, so I have to give a proper email address. I'll give like this. even if I don't give a proper email address, it will go, but it will send any saying that you know, that particular address not found. So I'll just send like this: executive@training app. Okay, run. It will be successful, but it will throw an error saying that that particular email is not found. So how do you see? Just go back over here and you will see that. Can you see here? New thing is coming up over here. If you see, yes, 0 minutes ago, but you can see that there is no address found, and you can give a proper email address there. So I took what? One email address. If you do not want to give a parameter, then you can simply directly in this property set, you can hard code the value. Okay, you can hard code the value, or you can go for a DSS. Anything would be possible. Okay, you can do that. So that is one way. Now what I do is I will use this particular weekly report into my job scheduler. So open the job scheduler. So in this job scheduler, as I shown you, right, in parameters, you write a proper email value here, so that it will send it to the person, I mean to whomever the mail is you have written for them. It will be sending as email. So submit and save. So it is a 10:04, so let me make it as 10:18. Yeah, 10:18, and save it, and let's see whether at 10:18 we have sent any email or not. Okay, so it's still 10:17 at my according to my watch. So let me see, let me delete this. So it's not necessary, right? Yeah, this is at 10:16. So at 10:19 one mail should be sent. Yes, so it is already 10:18. Yeah, now you can see there is 10:18 over here, 10:18, and if you see, yes, there is a mail at 10:18 with a mail. See all the 25 case IDs you can see over here. So this is how you send a mail to a mail as an attachment in an email. So this is another way of doing it. This is done by job scheduler. Thank you.